Day 20 in the Big Brother UK house, and Dylan was in the diary room complaining about Paul and Olivia rioting in the bedroom and said it took him ages to get back to sleep. Literally this morning, I woke up at 7 and it took me an hour and a half to get back to sleep. Like, Paul and Olivia are such children at this point that I can't even bear to watch them. Paul was asking Kerry what was wrong with her, and she says, "Oh, I'm fine, I'm just on my period." And then he was like, "Oh, that explains your huff." Excuse you? And then Olivia was like, "Oh yeah, last night, like, you were going crazy because we put the lettuce on you." And Jenkins was like, "Oh yeah, you were going mad." Aye, I was going mad because you fannies were putting fucking soggy lettuce on me when we've got no food in the house. Like, that's got nothing to do with me being on my period. Olivia and Jenkins were speaking about Dylan, and Olivia was saying that Dylan's in the house to become famous. And she was saying, if he's such a great DJ, then why does he have to come into the Big Brother house to become famous? And I thought, is it just me? Or the Big Brother house is not a place to go when you want to become famous. Like, okay, people in the past have become TV presenters, but for me, I would just want to go in for the experience. Okay, I would love to win. But do people actually think that nowadays going into Big Brother is going to launch your career and make you like a world famous person? Like, that's the complete opposite of what I think. Kerry decided that she was going to use Gnocchi's salad cream and cheese, and from day one they were saying, "Oh, if there's halal stuff, don't use that because that's the only thing that the person can eat." So why is it different for Gnocchi? Because she's a vegan. Now, obviously there's going to be lots of other food in the house that's vegan that she can eat, but if she's specifically ordered that cheese or that salad cream or whatever else because of a dietary requirement, they should have at least asked her if they could have a bit of it. I don't think she'd have said no. So then it was time for Evil Big Brother at room 101, and the housemates were going to be facing their fears. And I thought, right, this is probably going to be good, because on Big Brother Australia, it absolutely tortures them. So they went in to face their fears, and they had like this big Ouija board. And once again, Olivia's just squealing, screaming for no reason, literally no reason. And then I don't understand, like, when they're in situations like that, like, "Oh my god, I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid." Why are you afraid? You're in the Big Brother house, you're not really in a haunted mansion, you're not really in a graveyard, there's no ghosts. I don't understand this fake fear that people put on. It drives me insane. So then Frida came back, and I was like, oh, amazing. And she says, like, one of the older housemates is manipulating the younger housemates. Keep in mind that Dylan's older as well. Keep in mind that there's going to be younger people in the house, and there's going to be somebody who's like a year or two older. But obviously she was talking about Kerry, and then the whole rest of the time Kerry's like, "Oh, I'm not happy, oh, I'm not happy." Shocker, Kerry, when are you ever fucking happy? So then it was Zach's turn to appear, and he was milking it for all it was worth. And he was like, "Oh, somebody's whispering in people's ears," or whatever. And that was about Chanel. So then when Hallie came on, I can't even remember what she said. It was something about people are acting nice and then talking about people behind their back. But at the time, I kind of thought to myself, that could be anybody, they're all doing that. So once that section was over, I thought that was absolutely lame as fuck. Like, Big Brother Australia would have actually had them facing their fears. But on the Late and Live show, you did see that Chanel's got like a phobia of fish, and then they get Chanel and Jordan to like dunk for fish as if they're dunking for apples. So obviously he's going to be doing worse stuff to them later on. But when that happened, I was just kind of like, is that all they've got to say? Like, they're just bringing back old housemates to tell them stuff that they already knew. So Big Brother asked for any housemate to come to the diary room, and when Gnocchi went in, she was told that she's possessed and she had to hire an accomplice. I was kind of gutted that it was Gnocchi, to be honest, but at least it wasn't Paul. So I was really surprised, actually, when she asked Trish, because I didn't think that the two of them were that close. I thought that she was going to ask Olivia. And I was actually really shocked at their choices, because they were saying, like, pick one each and then we'll both pick one. I wasn't really that surprised that they picked Olivia, because she's been a pain in the arse. However, I think it was a bit unfair for them to say, "Oh, Olivia's doing this at night and she's acting this way at night because of Paul." Then why not put Paul up? And then the two of them picked Dylan. Obviously Trish just can't stand Dylan, she can't wait to get rid of him. And then they put up Kerry, and they're trying to say, "Oh, she's just not having a good time." But I think that she's literally just doing her heads in now, because she's never happy. So the housemates were eating dinner, and Yinrun was washing her dishes. And Olivia got up and she was like, "Oh, I just need to say something, like, I'm going to be a bitch here." And she was saying, if you're going to wash your dishes, then dry the old dishes. right, and she was quite aggressive about it. But at the time, I thought, okay, don't wash dishes and put them over dry dishes, right? But the way she went about it was just like out of order. And I come across as quite aggressive at times and people take me the wrong way. But what confused me was that Yunrun came out the diary room and Olivia went to her and said, oh, I wasn't shouting at you, I was trying to get other people to help. And Yunrun was saying, I was just trying to wash my dishes. And she was like, no, but let other people do it. And I thought, that's not what she meant, right? Like, if she'd have meant that, she would have said, oh, Yunrun's washing her dishes again. Can somebody go up and dry the dishes? I've put them away 4 times today. Right? But it was as if she was attacking Yunrun. And then Henry was like, oh, there's a nicer way that you could have said that. Like, totally. She just went off her head for no reason. And that's coming from somebody who's got anger problems and who does come across aggressive. And I'm Scottish as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't really understand where she was coming from with that. And then later on, when she was upstairs talking to Paul, and she was saying, oh, people take advantage of Yunrun and, like, other people should be doing their dishes, I thought, did she actually mean that? I genuinely don't think that she did. So on the Late Show, they were talking about Olivia's outburst, and one of the supposed celebrity guests was saying, oh, she wasn't being aggressive, she's just Scottish. As I'm always saying, some Scottish people, me included, can come across aggressive no matter what they say. But then he did this like really shit Scottish accent, like impersonating her, right? And I thought, see if you did that to Yunrun and if you tried to impersonate somebody else's accent, people would say that you're racist. Now, I'm not saying that the guy's racist or a bigot or whatever, right? But when you think about it, that is exactly what would happen. Like, imagine there was somebody Indian in there and then somebody done an Indian accent. They'd be getting cancelled all over the fucking place. I mean, it would be different if you're somebody who's just naturally good at doing accents, but the way he done it was as if he was totally ripping the piss. Noki was in the kitchen singing, I've got a secret task, or I've got a secret mission, or whatever it was, and I thought, is she fucking thick? How stupid is she, right? She's got a secret mission, and if she gets caught, then she's not going to be able to do it, and she's walking about the house literally singing that she's got a secret task. What the fuck? Like, how stupid do you have to be, right? And she's always walking about thinking like, oh, she's so intelligent and all this. And I'm like, what's missing in your brain? And then Yunrun came in, right? Yunrun's obviously just like in her own world, not really paying attention. But see if that had been anybody else, they probably would have turned around and been like, what were you just singing there? Were you just singing you've got a secret task? I was like, honest to fuck, man, she should fail just for doing that. I watched the Late and Live show because they totally made out as if you were going to see who was getting evicted last night. And they were like, oh, the vote's closing soon, you're going to see who's getting evicted. So then once the votes were closed, it was like, oh, you can tune in tomorrow night. Why am I watching this then? Why did you tell us at the beginning that we were going to see who was getting evicted tonight? It was totally false advertising. It showed you a clip of Yunrun speaking to Trish, and she says that Dylan was questioning her about the rice, and says, oh, did you measure out the rice? And she says, no, I measured the water. And he's like, oh, why didn't you measure out the rice? And she says, I'm Asian, I know how to make rice. And I was like, why is he even questioning her anyway? I'd be like, that, Dylan, what the fuck's it to do with you? You're not the only person who's competent enough to fucking cook. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely crap at making rice. I can't measure it. And see, when I make pasta for one, it ends up like pasta for 4. Trish was in the diary room speaking about Paul, and she said that he's got main character energy because he goes into the room and riots at night, even though people have asked him to stop. And she says, we're just like extras in his movie, and he does it to say like, fuck you to the rest of the house. I don't know what universe Trish is living on, because the other day she says he gets away with stuff because he's good looking, because he's good to look at. Gives me the actual heave, right? And then she said, oh, he's got main character energy because he acts like a petulant child. To me, it's just small dick energy. So tonight we're going to find out who gets evicted, unless they change their mind last minute again. And I hope it's Olivia, because then maybe Paul will shut the fuck up for a couple of hours. And if you would like to speak more about Big Brother, give me a follow.